Aptas Ayurveda. Reach Ayurveda to each. CHARAKA for children. A first ever national level Ayurveda contest on short-term school health project. On behalf of CHARAKA Jayanti 2025. Organized by Aptas Ayurveda Trust. Supported and guided by National Commission for Indian System of Medicine. Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapeeth. Prize for the contest is sponsored by Dr. Giridhar Kaje, renowned Ayurveda physician, Prashanti Ayurvedic Center, state-of-the-art specialty Ayurveda hospital with 21 branches in Bengaluru, Karnataka. Sponsored by Ashtavaidyan Thaikattu Mos, Vaidyaratnam Aushadhashala, Thrissur, Kerala.
Every city has its own rhythm, the noise of buses, the honk of bikes, the rush of people chasing their day. And somewhere in the chaos, a different tribe wakes up, that is Ayurvedic medicos. Some of us fight with alarms, some run with toothbrushes in hand, and some simply wish mornings never existed. Between half-slept eyes, hurried breakfasts, and last-minute notes, we all carry the same dream, to learn, to heal, and to serve. This is our routine, funny and messy, yet deeply meaningful, because hidden in these mornings lies the beginning of something much bigger.
Our days were fully packed. Lectures, practicals, hospital side, patients, and even OT session. As an Ayurvedic mini course, sometimes it was busy, serious, and interesting.
But in the middle of this routine, something different appeared. A small Instagram post, CHARAKA for children. At first, my friends laughed. Too much work, bro. Impossible with 50 members. But that little post felt different. Out of the box, a chance to step beyond our books and wards. Slowly, doubt gave way to curiosity, and curiosity turned into excitement. And finally, we decided to take the spark into our classrooms. As we carried the spark into our classrooms, at first, even our classmates said it wasn't possible. But slowly, with persistence and a little bit of fun convincing, we gathered more support. We seniors then went to our juniors. We told them about CHARAKA for children. Not just a project, but an opportunity to step out of routine and create something meaningful. Soon, registration began, forms were passed, doubts were cleared, and excitement grew. But for a project of this scale, we needed strong guidance. So we went individually to each teacher asking for their support and mentorship. With Dr. Ashwini Patil ma'am as project head, Dr. Srinivas Reddy sir as project manager, and Dr. Avinash Katti sir as project coordinator, our direction became clear and our confidence stronger. And finally, what started as a small spark became a strong team of 50 members, 10 heads, and 40 volunteers. And this was the beginning of our journey.
The team was finally formed, and it was a big relief, but the real milestone was waiting for us, the permissions.
First, we approached our principal. The wait in the corridor felt endless, files in the hand, legs shaking, and tension rising. But once we explained our vision, the principal sir was convinced and supportive. Next, with our teachers by our side, we approached the DDPI of Dharwad. To our joy, they appreciated our project and happily granted permissions along with the approval of 4 schools in Kundgold cluster. We then met the BEO of Kundgold, who welcomed our idea with a smile, appreciated our initiative, and assured us that schools would fully cooperate. With their best wishes, we felt our journey becoming more real. But the challenge didn't end here. We tried to reach the district health officer, the taluka health officer, and even community health workers. Their schedules were tight, but they assured us that before October, the official permissions would be signed. After days of tension, waiting, and explaining, the permissions were finally in our hands. It wasn't easy, but this was a real challenge, and crossing it gave us the courage to move ahead. After the permissions, it was time to step into the real field, the baseline survey. Out of 50 members, 25 were chosen, and together we boarded our college bus, filled with excitement and a little nervousness, heading towards Yeliwad. On the way, we divided ourselves into 3 teams under our teachers. Team 1 with Dr. Ashwini Patil ma'am, Team 2 with Dr. Avinash Katti sir, Team 3 with Dr. Srinivas Reddy sir. Team 1 under Dr. Ashwini ma'am first visited 2 schools, C.I. Hiregaudar Girls Kannada Medium Primary School and T.R. Hiregaudar English Medium School. At the girls' school, the headmistress welcomed us warmly. We asked about academics, sports, and extracurricular activities. The students shared their struggles in understanding a few subjects, but their spirit was strong. They were especially good at sports and cultural programs. Their energy left us inspired. Next, we went to the English medium school. The process was similar. The headmistress agreed happily and students too spoke about difficulties in certain subjects and health concerns. But compared to the girls' school, they showed less interest in sports and extracurriculars. Still, their cooperation gave us confidence. Meanwhile, Team 2 with Dr. Avinash sir visited GHS school. The headmaster welcomed us wholeheartedly with supportive staff and enthusiastic students. The survey went smoothly. Team 3, guided by Dr. Srinivas sir, reached Model Primary Kannada Medium School. The headmistress listened patiently, granted permissions, and encouraged us. Students here too interacted freely, helping us understand their academics, health, and campus environment. Among the 4 schools, only T.R. Hiregaudar was English medium, while the rest were Kannada medium. Each school had its uniqueness. Finally, all teams regrouped, sharing our observations with joy and laughter. We boarded the bus back to Hubli, our notebooks filled with data and our hearts filled with experiences. It wasn't just a survey, it was our first step into the lives of the children we hope to reach. After the baseline survey, the new challenge began. Discussion for the selection of the topic.
The classroom turned into a think tank. Students came up with fresh ideas, teachers patiently listened, screened each suggestions, and guided us towards the most practical and impactful choice. Once the topic was finalized, the real groundwork started. We began preparing the presentation in line with the official brochure, correcting and refining it again and again until it felt just right. Next came the planning tools, a Gantt chart carefully mapping our timeline and responsibilities. I stood at the board, drawing a web of all the tasks to be covered, explaining the plan step by step so that everyone knew their role clearly. Together we drafted questionnaires based on the topic, making sure each question would capture exactly what we needed. Finally, our proposal was ready. We presented it before the RID cell, listened to their suggestions and polished it further. And with that, the topic was officially selected. A moment of pride, relief, and excitement for the journey ahead.
So even after the baseline survey, something within us felt incomplete. We were not satisfied. So, to get more grip and confidence over our topic, we visited our school once again. This time without our teachers, we prepared fresh questionnaires and boarded the bus to Yeliwad. Just us, our team, and the spark to do better. Divided into 4 groups, we reached each school and handed the questionnaires to the selected students. We patiently guided them, cleared their doubts, and carefully observed their responses. But somewhere in between those question and answers, something magical happened. We laughed with them, We played games in the schoolyard, we clapped, we danced, we sang together. The classrooms echoed not just with surveys, but with joy. For the first time, it didn't feel like just a project. It felt like a bond, a bridge forming between us and the children. And when it was finally time to leave, we returned to Hubli with notebooks full of data, hearts full of warmth, and a heavy feeling of leaving those little smiles behind. From the spark in our routine to forming a team of 50, and now we are in the end. From standing nervously with files in front of principals and officers to standing joyfully among children with smiles and laughter, every step, permissions, surveys, questionnaires, or plans became more than just tasks. They became memories. This Purva Karma taught us that Ayurveda is not limited to textbooks or wards. It breathes in real life, in real people, in the bright eyes of children who are our future. What we began as a preparation has become transformation. We started with questions and returned with stories, hope, and a purpose. Today, we end the Purva Karma, but the journey of Charaka for children has only just begun. From the day one, we never told what our project was really about. So we never revealed our topic. So let me tell you now. So during the first visit of our baseline survey, when we approached the headmasters, students and the staff, at first everything seemed normal. We checked their past medical reports. Health-wise, most children were fine and almost the bodies were strong. The energy was steady. But when we asked about their studies, they revealed something. They were not able to memorize the things. They were not able to recall the things that they studied. They were struggling in their subjects. They weren't holding on to what they learned. Lessons faded faster than they should. Some subjects made them struggle, not because they lacked intelligence, but because they lacked a way, a method, a rhythm. So to understand this problem with more clarity, we prepared another questionnaire. But this time it was not from the guesswork, but we had prepared from the Adhyayana Vidhi, the learning method CHARAKA told in their Samhitas.
So these are the baseline survey questions which we have framed based on the Adhyayana Vidhi explained by Acharya Charaka. On evaluating these questions, we got to know that high school students found English as a difficult subject and MPK school found EVS as a difficult subject, CI Iregowda found Hindi as a difficult subject and TR Iregowda school found social as a difficult subject.
In every school, the difficulty changed. One school found Hindi as a tough subject. Another struggled with social science. Some felt lost in English and others in EVS. Every classroom had its own story, its own weak point. And when those responses came back, the purpose of our study revealed like a sunrise. The topic was not chosen by us, they were chosen by the reality of children. And this finally became our topic. A comprehensive experimental study on adapting Adhyayana Vidhi in the form of Dinacharya Sadruta with application of Tantra Yukti in school-going children. So, to know more deeply why we chose this topic, let me take you to our project manager, Dr. Srinivas Reddy sir.
Hello everyone, myself Dr. Srinivas Reddy Venkreddy. I am working as an associated professor in the department of Kaya Chikitsa. And the topic given by Aptas for this project included Dinacharya, Ritucharya, Sadruta and Vegadharana and so on. Around 27 plus topics were which are incorporated in Charaka Samhita were selected by the Aptas. And finally, we, the Sanjeevini team, selected Adhyayana Vidhi and Tantra Yukti for the short-term project which is given by the Aptas team. So we selected Adhyayana Vidhi. It is not only for the purpose of study, but it is included both Dinacharya, Ritucharya and Sadruta. What are the things has to be followed? Everything is included in Adhyayana Vidhi. So that's what we selected Adhyayana Vidhi and Tantra Yukti. By adopting Tantra Yukti protocols into the Adhyayana Vidhi, that is different concepts. So in present era, the dreams of every parent is to see their child success in all the aspects of their life. For this, they are giving them the best of best facilities, and for the there is no boundaries for cities and villages. So in this, the teaching learning methodologies are mentioned in our ancient Ayurvedic science also in the form of Trivida Jnanopaya. This teaching learning process is enriched through the logical applications called as Tantra Yukti. To incorporated Ayurveda teaching learning methodologies along with the overall physical, mental and social emotional well-being with the children's. We are selected these two topics, and we are combining these two topics because of adaptation of Tantra Yukti into the Adhyayana Vidhi, even in daily routine life as well as in the studying purpose. So we took these two topics for the short-term project. So I congratulate once again. I will congratulate the team Aptas for giving such an unique ideas to the public, and I hope this project will be get successful. Thank you.
Wait, what is this Tantrayukta and Adhyayana Vidhi? To know more deeply about it, let me take you to the project head, Dr. Ashwini Patil ma'am, who will explain you with more clarity.
Namaste to one and all. Myself, Dr. Ashwini Patil, Associate Professor from the Department of Samhita Siddhanta, Sanjeevini Ayurveda Medical College, Hubli, here presents you our title project for the CHARAKA for Children from Aptas Trust, a comprehensive experimental study on adopting Adhyayana Vidhi in form of Dinacharya Sadvrutta with application of Tantra Yukti in school-going children. So the purpose of selecting this topic was to apply Adhyayana Vidhi as well as Tantra Yukti in the school children to enhance their competitive exam technology and also to enhance their mind for a better studying atmosphere. For this purpose, we combined these two topics where the Adhyayana Vidhi, what Charaka quotes in Charaka Vimanasthana 8th chapter as Kalyaha Kritakshanaha Prataruthaya Upavyusham Va Kritya Avashyaka Upaskritya Sprushodakam Deva Rishi Go Brahmana Guru Vruddha Siddha Acharyabhyo Namaskritya Same Shuchau Desho Sukhopavishtoha Manaha Puraha Sarabhir Vagvihi Sutra Anukramat Punaha Punara Avartayet Buddha Samyag Anupravishyarthatvam Swadosha Pariharartham Paradosha Pramanartham Cha. So like this he explains how to go one for the study purpose. So that's what he calls it as Adhyayana Vidhi. We always think that Adhyayana Vidhi refers only for the studying purpose, but Acharya Charaka clearly mentions what are the prerequisites which is needed before going for a Adhyayana Vidhi, and those prerequisites he explains in the form of Kalyaha, Kritakshanaha. Kalya itself tells that he should be Nirogaha. So when he tells Nirogaha, it indicates the health status. And when are we going to go with a good health status? When a person is indulging himself in a healthy routine practices. Based on this, we applied the Adhyayana Vidhi for school health project as it states as a short-term health project. So Adhyayana Vidhi does not say that it is only studying. It is studying by adopting healthy routine practices where it implies the theory of a sound mind in a sound body. With this, we prepared a questionnaire for Adhyayana where we sorted out with 25 questions which relates with the shloka which I said now from the Charaka Vimana 8th chapter, that waking early at 6 a.m. Whether they brushed their teeth, took the bath, washed clean clothes, combed their hair, applied the oil, the nails were trimmed, worshipped, they washed their hands, did they drink the milk, they ate the vegetables, the fruits, did they eat any junk food, how much water they drank, and how did they respect their everyone, elders including their parents, the brothers and the surrounding people. And then we framed the questions of how do they study, that is sitting for the study, how they read, what is their method of studying, how do they clear their doubts, because it is being said Swadosha Pariharartham Paradosha Pramanartham, and repetitions of reading, how many times do they repeat, whether they get distracted during the reading, if so what are those distractions, and do they play outside or whether they always watch the mobile, and do they speak any bad words which implies with the Sadvrutta, and whether they are healthy or do they suffer with minor ailments. Like this we framed with 25 questions of Adhyayana Vidhi and these charts. With that, We gave the gradings every week, that is every day, Sunday to Saturday. This is a 1 week follow up for the students to follow these routine healthy practices. So this was followed with a classroom teaching. So this was given to the students to understand, and it was made them to understand this importance of following Adhyayana Vidhi so that their memory and concentration power enhances. To develop still more with their concentration power, we went with another topic which was given by the Aptas, that is applying of Tantra Yukti. So among the 36 Tantra Yuktis as said by Charaka, we selected only the 15 Tantra Yuktis. The purpose of selecting these 15 Tantra Yukti is they are very easy for a outside our branch or outside of Ayurveda person to understand these Tantra Yuktis, and these Tantra Yuktis can be applied irrespective of Ayurveda, it can be applied in any subjects. Hence, among the 36, we selected with Adhikarana, Yoga Tantra Yukti, Padartha Tantra Yukti, the Uddesha, Nirdesha Tantra Yukti, the Prayojana, Anagata Vekshana, Atita Vekshana, Nidarshana, Nirvachana, Sambhava, Vyakhyana, Samuchaya and Vikalpa. The purpose of this was applying these Tantra Yuktis in the text and making them to learn by applying these Tantra Yuktis. By applying these Tantra Yuktis, the students made the school children to analyze the concepts or to analyze that particular topic very easily, and also they were made to apply the same things in the future classes also. As we had a very short term project of 45 days, we could be able then to only go for with the analysis of this. Further reading, we have made the students to analyze or study in future with this, which is going to memorize or which helps them in fast remembering the concepts and also in memorizing in their daily routine practices. So clubbing Adhyayana Vidhi and Tantra Yukti, the purpose what we met was studying is not only a by-hearting or mugging up. Studying with a sound mind and sound body is very, very important. Along with that, hard work and smart work always applies in achieving a good success in the future of a student. With this purpose, we took Adhyayana Vidhi with Tantra Yukti as our project title and entitled as a comprehensive experimental study adopting Adhyayana Vidhi in form of Dinacharya, Sadvrutta with application of Tantra Yukti in school-going children. Thank you one and all.
We created a 25 question weekly chart, but entirely on Adhyayana Vidhi and woven with Dinacharya and Sadvrita. A simple chart, but if a child followed it for 1 week, it could shift their memory, their mental stamina, their physical balance, their whole way of learning. And we thought of collecting those charts at the end of every week, evaluated each one and then gave fresh charts again. Every tick mark told a story. Did they follow the practice? Did they stick to the discipline? Did Adhyayana Vidhi start taking root in their lives? After the vigilance survey, everything became clear. The topic was selected straight from where the children were struggling. The topic, Tantra Yukti along with Adhyayana Vidhi, where Tantra Yukti is the art of reasoning, logic and structure, and Adhyayana Vidhi with Sadvrita and Dinacharya. Wow, what a combination, what a topic we have selected. And this is where our Pradhana Karma really begins. And at this point of time, we were in the Pradhana Karma and borrowed the textbook from the schools and started applying the Tantra Yukti in the subjects where students were struggling, that is Hindi, EVS, Social Science and English. Before our first visit, we had a clear checklist in place. This included conducting a pre-IQ test, collecting pre-feedback forms from both students and parents, and obtaining consent forms to ensure ethical participation. We also prepared for the distribution of Adhyayana Vidhi to introduce a structural and classical approach to learning. This checklist helped us to enter the program with clarity, readiness, and a strong foundation before beginning the intervention. After all this planning, preparation of the charts, application of the Tantra Yukti, and as we were about to step into the field, but there was a plot twist here. The God had different plans for us. The schools had announced the midterm holidays for a whole month. But luckily, one school didn't announce the midterm holidays, that is TR Hiregoda School, and this was a chance for us, and this was our first visit of Pradhana Karma. Finally, we were ready to begin our journey. With preparation complete and purpose clear, we boarded our college bus early in the morning, heading towards Yaliwad for our first visit. You won't believe it! At the age where I still take my parents to the college for the parents teachers meeting, here we were the ones who were organizing parents teachers meeting. Sometimes unexpected things happen in life. Parents started arriving one by one, and honestly, our confidence began to shake a little. We kept wondering, will everything go well? Will they understand our purpose? Or will they support us? By the time all of them settled in the classroom, our hearts were beating faster than the children's. But with a warm welcome, we began the meeting. We explained our project to the parents, why we were doing all this, what the purpose was, and why it was needed now, in this generation, in this fast, distracted world. We told them children today learn a lot, but they forget fast, not because they are weak, but because their lifestyle doesn't support their mind, and that's where our project stepped in. We shared that this project wasn't just about studies, it was about giving children a simple routine that could make their mind calmer, their memory sharper, and their body healthier. And then came the most important part, the Adhyayana Vidhi card. We showed the parents each small practice on the card and explained it in the simplest way. Nothing big, nothing complicated, just small habits that could help their child every single day. We told them every day your child will just put a tick, yes or no. Did they follow this or not? That's all, honesty and easy. We also explained the benefits, how these small benefits can help a child's mind and body. The mental
ಸಂಜೀವಿನಿ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಹುಬ್ಬಳ್ಳಿ ಇವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಎಸ್ ಟಿ ಹಿರೇಗೌಡ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಇದೊಂದು ಮೆಥಡ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಗೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಮೆಥಡ್ ತಂದಿರೋದು ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಥರ ಏನೇ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದೊಂಥರ ನೀವು ಮೆಥಡ್ ತಂದಿರೋದು ಒಂಥರ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಈಗ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಮಗನೇ, ಮಮ್ಮಿ ಸಂಡೆಯಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲ ಈ ಸಂಡೆಯಿಂದ ನೋಡಿ ಮಮ್ಮಿ ನಾ ಹೆಂಗಾಗ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಈಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂಥರ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಗೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋಂಥ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆಂಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಇದೆ. ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಆಯುರ್ವೇದಿಕ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ, ಮುಂದಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಏನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವ್ದ ತರ ನಾವು ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇನ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಏನೈತಿ ಹೆಂಗೈತಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದಾರ. ಅದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ವಿಚಾರ. ಈಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೂ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರ, ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕೇಳ್ತಾವು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೋಡಿನ ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ರು ಅವ್ರ ತರಾನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಏನೋ ಅಣ್ಣ ಅಥವಾ ಅಕ್ಕ ಅನ್ನೋ ತರಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಿಂತನೂ ಅವ್ರು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಅನುಭವದ ಮಾತು. ತರ ದತ್ತು ತಗೊಂಡೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗತಿ. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತೆ TR ಹಿರೇಗೌಡ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತುಂಬ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಕ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ.
After the IQ test, the next step was organization. The children were divided into Group A and Group B. This division was done based on their midterm examination performance. Each group included a balanced mix of fast, average, and slow learners so that no group was advantaged or disadvantaged. This ensured a fair comparison and a structured approach for the activities that followed. And after all this, the parents didn't just listen, they opened their heart to us. One parent said, "Our children needed this." Another said, "Nobody has ever tried something like this before." And in their voices, in their trust, we received the best review we could ever get. They told us this project wasn't just useful, it was necessary, it was timely, it was something their children deserved. In that moment, it felt like our effort, our planning, our sleepless nights were finally seen, finally valued. Their words didn't just encourage us, they lifted us. They made this journey feel worthy. Time tested us again. When schools reopened, we weren't free, and when we were free, time had already moved ahead. In the remaining 3 schools, we followed the same path: parents meeting, sharing our intent, listening with patience. Adhyanavidhi cards were distributed, pre-IQ tests were conducted, and pre-feedback forms were collected. Children were divided into 2 groups, A and B, based on their midterm exams. Each group carried a balance: fast learners, average learners, and slow learners. No one left behind.
We from the school TR Hiregaudra selected 7th standard according to the strength of their whole school. So after pre-questionnaire provided to the students, the results said that they are having difficulty in social science. So we chose the subject recommended by the students. Then we chose 10 Tantra Yukti among 15 Tantra Yukti that has been sent through our proposal. Then as of these 10 Tantra Yuktis were properly matching to interpret the chapter that we have been chosen, the chapter name called Unification of Karnataka and Border Disputes. Then, so coming to the Tantra Yukti, the heading or the chapter title was Unification of Karnataka and Border Disputes. So here we applied the Adhikarana Tantra Yukti for the chapter heading or the title. It refers to the contextual meaning. Then we applied Swasamna Tantra Yukti, which to new words that come occurs like alienation, vociferously, provision, etc. were new words to the students. So we applied Aswasamna Tantra Yukti. Also we applied Atita Vekshana and Anagata Vekshana Tantra Yukti. Like the previous chapter was freedom movement, and the next chapter was is pro-social movements of Karnataka. Here after we understanding the freedom movement, then only we can understand the Karnataka unification and its border disputes. In the same way, other Tantra Yukti like Padartha, Nirvachana, Nidarshana, Pura Paksha, Ohya were also applied in this chapter.
The second visit marked a shift. No more introductions, no more waiting. This was the moment learning truly began. At TR Hiregaudra School, the topic chosen was newspaper and the unification of Karnataka. For Batch A, Sagar handled the class using the normal teaching method. For Batch B, Sneha Ian taught the same topic, this time applying Tantra Yukti, guiding students to connect facts, ideas and meaning step by step. At GHS School, the English lesson, The Emperor's New Clothes, Scene 1 was selected. Batch A was taught using Tantra Yukti by Shraddha, while Batch B was handled through the normal method by Meghna. Same lessons, 2 different approaches and 2 different classroom energies. At CI Hiregaudra School, the Hindi poem Chidiya was chosen. Batch B learned 1 stanza with Tantra Yukti taught by Harini and Vedika. Batch A was taught the same stanza using normal method by Shankarama, Aditya and Spurti. The poem stayed the same, but the way children absorbed it quietly began to differ. At MPS School, the EVS topic States of Matter was selected. Batch A was taught using Tantra Yukti by Shashank and Satish. Batch B was taught using the normal method by Srishti, Sneha and Shrishri. Every week, one small ritual stayed We collected the previous Adhyayana Vidhi cards and handed out new ones, step by step, week by week, observation building over time. And with that, the second visit came to the end, quietly laying the foundation for everything that was yet to unfold. The third visit was about continuity, not starting anew, but going deeper. At T.R. Hiregaodur School, the lesson moved forward naturally. Sagar continued with the same topic, bringing in border dispute to expand the discussion. For Tantrayukti batch, Yashaswini carried the main topic forward, while Gauri handled the concept of border disputes, helping students connect geography, history, and reasoning. At GHS school, scenes 2 and 3 of the Emperor's New Clothes were covered. Batch A experienced the lesson through Tantrayukti taught by Yellamma. Batch B was taught using the normal method by Vaishnaviyam. The story unfolded further, and so did the children's ability to reflect and respond. At C.I. Hiregaodur School, the same Chidiya stanza returned, but this time with new depth. Batch B explored the stanza again using 2 additional Tantrayukti, taught by Vedika and Harini. Batch A, taught by Shankaramma, Spurti and Aditi, continued with normal teaching method. Same poem, yet understanding began to mature. At MPS school, the EVS topic was carried forward once again. Batch A was taught using Tantrayukti by Sahana and Shashank. Batch B continued with normal method under Srishal, Sneha and Srishti. Each visit built quietly on the previous one. No rush, no shortcuts, just repetitions, reflection and refinement. And with that, the third visit came to a close, not as an ending, but as a strengthening of the path we had chosen. The fourth visit was about closure, not an ending of connection, but the completion of content. At GHS school, scene 4 of the Emperor's New Clothes was taken up. Batch A was taught using Tantrayukti by Aftab. Batch B learned through the normal teaching method under Ayman and Aditya. With this, the story reached its conclusion. At C.I. Hiregaodur School, Batch B completed the remaining 2 stanzas of Chidiya, taught by Harini using new Tantrayukti. Batch A, taught by Spurti and Shankaramma, completed the poem through the normal teaching method. The poem now stood whole in words and in understanding. At MPS school, the final portion of the topic was completed. Batch A was taught using Tantrayukti by Shashank and Satish. Batch B continued with the normal method under Srishti, Sahana and Srishai. By now, every planned topic across all schools had been covered. The fifth visit was about assessment, not comparison but clarity. Across all schools, we conducted MCQ and written tests for both Batch A and Batch B using the same question paper. No change in difficulty, no difference in content, only the method of learning stood apart. Students attempted the tests quietly, some confident, some hesitant, some surprising themselves. This visit wasn't about marks. It was about observing how learning stayed, how concepts settled, and how methods made a difference. And with that, the fifth visit was completed, leaving us with answers that went far beyond the paper. The final visit wasn't about teaching anymore. It was about closure. Across all schools, we conducted the post-IQ test and organized a quiz for the students, a final moment to reflect how far they had come. Along with this, post-feedback forms were distributed to both students and parents. Among all the schools, only the parents of T.R. Hiregaodur School could attend in person, their presence adding warmth to an already emotional day. Once everything was completed, the Adhyayana Vidhi cards were collected for the final time. No new cards this time, only memories.
CHARAKA for children's ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಇದು ಆಗೈತಿ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸೋಷಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫುಲ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹೆಂಗಪ್ಪ ಓದೋದಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಆವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದ್ದು ಸಂಜೀವಿನಿ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಈಸಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರು. ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಥರ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಭಾಳ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಇದ್ರು. ಅದ್ರ ಥರನ ಅವ್ರು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇತ್ತು.
ಅಕ್ಕ ಬಂದು ನಮಗೆ ತಂತ್ರಯುಕ್ತಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಲು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ತಂತ್ರಯುಕ್ತಿ ನಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಪಾಠ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಒಂದೊಂದು ತಂತ್ರಯುಕ್ತಿಸ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಟಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಕ್ಕ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ರು.
ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಪಾಠ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಪುಸ್ತಕನ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತೈತಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಈಗ ಹೊಸ ಶಬ್ದ ಅದು ಇದು ಆಗೈತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಸ್ವಸಮ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿತೇವೆ. ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಹಾಕಿ ಸ್ವಸಮ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಅಧಿಕರಣ ತಂತ್ರಯುಕ್ತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಪಾಠದ ಹೆಡ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಂತ ಒಳಗ್ ಕವಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳತ್ತಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂತೇವಿ. ಮತ್ತ ಚಂದಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಓದ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಿಳ್ಕೊತೀವಿ.
That we played with the children, just like we did every other visit. Same game, same laughter, but this time it felt different. Our smiles were real, yet our hearts felt heavy. The children sensed it. They stayed closer to us. Some kept holding our hands, some asked, "Will you come again?" And we didn't know what to say. For weeks we had been part of their lives, not just teachers, not just seniors, but people they waited for. Walking away that day was hard, not because the work was unfinished, but because the bond was complete. We left the school campus slowly, carrying no bags in our hands, but a lot in our hearts. The project ended that day, but the memories stayed with us. The valedictory didn't begin on stage. It began days before, with plans, lists, phone calls, and a silent hope that everything would fall into place. Invitations were sent to the headmasters, teachers, and students of all 4 schools. For each school, 2 students from batch A and 2 students from batch B, selected purely on merit, came to represent their classrooms. 16 children, 16 stories, one shared journey. The function was graced by our chief guest, Shri S.S. Keldimat, DDP of Dharwad, whose presence gave strength to our efforts. Our president, Dr. Srinivas K. Bannigod, stood as a guiding force. We were honored by the presence of our principal, Dr. Charantaya C. Hiremat sir, along with our secretary, Dr. Somshekara Sudhar, and vice principal, Dr. Mahesh Desai sir. At the heart of this journey stood our mentors, Dr. Ashwini Patil, Dr. Srinivas Reddy, and Dr. Avinash Katti sir. As the journey of CHARAKA for children was narrated by me from start to finish, memories unfolded from the first visit to the final goodbye. Dr. Ashwini Patil ma'am explained the essence of Tantra Yukti and the strength of Adhyayana Vidhi, showing how ancient wisdom quietly shaped modern learning. Dr. Srinivas Reddy sir spoke about why this topic was chosen, not for convenience but for relevance. One by one, the dignitaries shared their thoughts not as a formal speeches but as a genuine appreciation filled with happiness and pride. Then came the voices that mattered most. The headmistress, the teachers, and the students. They spoke of change or confidence of children remembering, understanding, and enjoying. Prizes were distributed to the students, headmasters were felicitated, and the joy in the hall needed no translation. By the end, there were no titles, no hierarchies, just smiles. Lunch was arranged, the campus was shown to the students, and as they left, holding prizes, holding memories, their faces carried something deeper than happiness. Paschat Karma didn't happen in classrooms. It happened at desks, late at night. We began analyzing the outcomes, evaluating Adhyayana Vidhi cards, exam papers, and pre- and post-IQ tests, trying to understand one simple question. Did this really work? Data slowly filled Microsoft Excel sheets, rows, columns, numbers, each one representing a child, a class, a moment of learning. Statistics were applied, tests were run, results were checked and rechecked. The days were long, the nights were longer. Report writing became its own challenge, formatting, correcting, rewriting at the same time. The documentary was being edited, frames were crashing, systems were freezing, and files were refusing to open. Sleepless night became optional, stress became routine. There were moments we felt stuck, moments we felt exhausted, moments we questioned if we could finish it all, but somehow we did. With teamwork, with small strategies, with patience, and with the quiet understanding that this struggle was also part of learning. Paschat Karma was not smooth, it had ups and downs, but it taught us something no result sheet ever could.
We went on for the pre and the post IQ questions, conducted them the test. We got the scores, we calculated them, tested them. Now we entered the data through Google Forms again. Now comes where the problem is with Adhyana Vidhi. It has 7 days in a week. We have to do it for all the 4 weeks. Now what we did was give a grading for them. Like for example, you wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning. So if a student wakes up for 6 days, he has scored 6 points for that. So maximum point a student can score is 7. So similarly, we did it for all the students and for all the weeks, and did a comparison for it, like for week 1, 2, and 3 and 4. So how we did that? We went on to Excel, basics like that is advanced Excel. We went on that and assessed like out of 7 questions, this is the maximum you can score is 7, converted them into percentage of how much they have scored. Then went into advanced Excel option and asked them to give us the degree of freedom. And by that we again ran the chi-square test for it. So now if we go over the detailed study of the graphs, in pre and post IQ, we see there was only about 5% difference in pre and post, but it was government primary model high school, primary Kannada school, where the difference from the pre and post was about 20%. That was the major difference we observed, and remaining other schools had it about 5% of a difference. And in Adhyana Vidhi, we see much of a difference from week 1 to week 4 in improved their sleep cycle. That is, they are waking up at 6, much of them. But again, we still see the people who are not following. It is very hard for one person to change in a month duration. So that's statistically significant value we got, with p-value being very less and degree of freedom was 21. So similarly for brushing of the teeth, most of them brushed daily, so it was 7 for all the 4 weeks. Similarly for taking bath and other stuff. But where we saw much of a good difference from week 1 to week 4, where this studying habits what we saw, and playing much of outside than in using the mobile phones. In Adhyana Vidhi, we almost got all our Pearson chi-square tests to be very significant, and much of difference was not seen. We saw about 49% of difference from week 1 to week 4 when we consider all the 25 questions of it. Now moving forward, what we saw the major difference was students in their study habits. Like before, they used to mug up, and once we taught them about Tantra Yukti, how they can logically use the study methodologies, we saw much of a difference there too. Not a huge, but there was a difference from week 1 to week 4. Now moving forward, there were 25 questions as I said, and there were certain questions we did not see much of a difference also. For example, do you speak bad words? Now, it was difficult for us also to change a student in a month, the duration for them to speak well. But yeah, there are statistics data where we find it difficult for the improvement, and it showed like before also they were same, and present also they are same itself. Now, if the duration was quite more, we could have seen much of a difference and improvement in the grades and their percentage level.
After Purva, Pradhana and Paschat Karma, something inside us had quietly changed. We were once caught in routine, classes, hospitals, deadlines, days repeating themselves. But this journey pulled us out of that circle. We stepped outside that was comfortable. We tried something many would hesitate to even begin. Along the way, we learned how to communicate, how to listen, how to stay calm, how to be patient, and how to lead without raising our voices. We began this project thinking we would bring change in children, but slowly we realized something unexpected. We were changing too. Not everyone gets a second chance to live school life again, but we did. Through classroom benches, corridors filled with echoes, class dust, laughter, and curious eyes, we found ourselves going back in time. For a moment, we weren't students or volunteers, we were children again. Those kids reminded us of our own childhood, the innocence, the simplicity, the joy in small things. And in that process, we created memories, not for report, not for marks, but for life. We learned lessons beyond textbooks. We became calmer, more patient, more human. We laughed a lot, we enjoyed deeply, and without realizing, we grew. Today, we may have walked away from those classrooms, but the children didn't leave us. We carry them quietly in our hearts, in our memories, in who we have become. This was never just a school health project, it was a dream, one that we lived together.